Alrighty, YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. I'm gonna try to talk into the mic because it keeps cutting out when I turn my head for some reason. But obviously we now know that the niece is coming, and if you've been living under a rock, the next character is also a helm, right? How do we know this? Simply, well, if you've searched outside, if you searched up helms name in Google, you would know. And then also these S and N's are kind of hints that it's Helm, right? Obviously Helm is here at the beach with them. Same as the niece, right? The summer niece was right there, so we already knew she was coming guaranteed. And there she is right here, right? And then obviously Helm is also there at the beach with Mast and Anchor. Now I don't know what happened to Anchor. I'm thinking Anchor is the third character for that squad. So when they start to drop characters like Kay, Moran, I guess just those two, that's when Anchor would drop too, kind of like the third set of these squads. Now one thing that this seasonal confirmed somewhat, and what the next one confirmed, is that we kind of now know how limiteds work in this game, right? This is our fourth or fifth one if we include the collabs, then it's our fifth. If we don't, then it's our fourth, right? But we kind of know how limiteds are now, right? So one thing I not dislike, but one thing that I think most people will not like is the fact that limiteds seem to always come in twos, right? The only limited we've ever had that came solo was Ray, and she was a free character. She wasn't summonable. So it seems like all these summonable characters, actually about Ray, you can buy her dupes. You can buy her dupes in the shop. So I don't know how limited she is, because you can actually buy her dupes in the shop. But when it comes to these summonable characters, they always come in two, right? So obviously Mary came out with Neon. Mary came out with Neon, Anne came out with Rupee, and now obviously, if we're counting the collabs, Makima came with Power, and then of course Helm is coming with, or Anise is coming with Helm. Now another thing to know, when it comes to these seasonal limited characters, it's as clear as day that they are characters that are already in the game, right? So obviously the first seasonal limiteds were Rupee and Anne. Obviously we already had the regular Rupee. Where is she? We had this Rupee, the regular one, and then for Anne we had N0 or N102, which is right here, right? So these two are the same, right? And then obviously Rupee and Rupee are the same. And then for the next set we had, of course, Mary, who's already in the game again. Mary is somewhere down here, right here. And then for Neon, she was an SR in the game as well, right? So there's Neon right here, and then this Neon right here, right? So you can kind of see that all the seasonal characters are going to be characters that are already in the game. So the next set is Anise and Helm, right? We have never gotten a seasonal character that was a new character, right? Now, of course, we had Neve and Himeno, basically. Well, I'm not going to talk too much about the collabs because there's that. But of course we had Neve and Ray, but like I said, Neve and Ray are free characters. You couldn't summon for them. So it seems like if they are giving out a limited character that is different, they'll most likely be free. But when it comes to these seasonal banners, they will most likely just have a character that we already have in the game. As of right now, that's what it seems like. So for example, we won't get a new character. Who's a character that's not in the game yet? Who's a character that's not in the game? K, let's say, right? We won't get a seasonal K before the actual K drops, it seems like, right? Now again, I'm not going to talk about the collabs because a collab is a collab. Of course they're going to be different characters, but yeah, unless it's a literally unless it's a free-to-play character, clearly SR or SSR, that's the only way they're gonna ever be new, right? But when it comes to summonable seasonals, it seems like it could just be a coincidence, but all of the seasonals are already in the game. At least they have a different version of themselves in the game. Now another thing, I don't know if I mentioned it, but they always come out in twos, which is what I think I said that before, right? They come out in twos, which isn't a problem, but I guess the issue here would be that seasonals are limited, right? So most players are kind of inclined to summon for them, right? Because if you don't, as of right now, they did confirm reruns will happen, but reruns have not happened yet. So it's kind of hard for them to say reruns will happen. We're 9 months into the game and it never happened once. The closest thing we got to a rerun was when Alice dropped, who didn't actually have a banner. She came into the game on release, but for Easter, they gave her a solo banner, a raid-up banner, because it was Easter, basically. So that's literally what it is, right? This is the closest thing we got to a quote-unquote rerun banner. But yeah, like when it comes to limited, they don't rerun as of right now. They never have, and they said they will rerun, but if they haven't rerun yet, I can't tell you, hey, they're going to rerun. Because look, they also said something was going to happen with the rupee skin. Nothing happened. If the rupee skin thing doesn't happen in this next update, then I don't know, right? So yeah, what we definitely know for sure now is that limited characters, seasonal limited characters, are characters that are already in the game. There will always be characters that are already in the game. Because I feel like Helm for a seasonal is quite early, right? And I know that's saying much, but Helm was a character who was the first banner in the game, right? So I feel like she would have been the character who wouldn't have happened this year, right? I thought if they were going to keep doing limiteds or seasonal limiteds, they would be characters that were already in the game on day one. And then these banner characters like Helm, Laplace, you know, Modernia, all these banner characters, if they were to get limited, it would be next year, right? I just thought that would make the most sense. Not make the most sense, but I just thought that's how they were going to play by it, right? Because a lot of people actually feel like Helm getting a limited is somewhat early, even though she was the first banner unit in the game, right? It sounds weird, but like, you know, there's so much characters that dropped on release that they have not given limited to, and it's fine, right? I don't expect them to have a limited every other week, and look how much characters are in the game that they have to get through, right? It's gonna take time. It's fine, realistically. But what we do know is that obviously limiteds they don't come back as of right now. We do know that these seasonal limiteds seem to be characters that are already in the game, and they seem to always drop in 2. Right, that's the biggest thing I noticed. They always drop in. We've never, even with collabs, we've never had a limited banner where the character was a solo character. Like there was one limited banner. We've never had that. They always drop in 2s. So I guess when you are preparing to summon for limiteds, prepare to summon for 2. Literally, that's just how it is, right? When it comes to these limited characters, prepare to summon for 2. Now, the scariest thing for me is going to be a limited Pilgrim. I don't know what's going to happen there. Rates are probably going to be lowered, and they're going to be a Pilgrim. It's going to be insane. Right? But yeah, it's as clear as they drop in 2s. So whenever, like I said, whenever limiteds happen, prepare for 2 characters. Prepare your summoning on 2 banners. Right? In a couple days, they most likely will say, limited pickup recruitment, new Nikke Rise, Helm, Captain, the One Piece is real. I don't know, you know. But yeah, there are going to always be 2 limiteds, it seems like, together, rather than 1 limited, then 2 weeks after another limited, or 1 limited, then a month later the next limited. Doesn't seem like it's ever going to be like that. Just based on past events. So you guys let me know what you think. Hopefully this video kind of just explained how limiteds are working as of right now and how they seem to be working in the game. Let me know your thoughts on, of course, them always having 2 characters as the limited. And yeah, let me know if you guys agree with my statement that there seem to always be a character in the game already that isn't free, but always seem to already be in the game before they can get a limited character, right? So yeah, this is really just how limiteds like seem to be working. I say seem because again, this is all just speculation, right? But it makes sense. Like I have facts, right? But yeah, this is just like how limiteds work. Stuff. Subscribe, like, I'm out. Peace.